Now, President Obama has asked Congress for $500 million to provide military training and equipment to rebel groups in Syria. The programme will be a huge boost to US involvement in the civil war. For more now, I'm joined by RT's Marina Portnaya live from Washington. Marina, good to see you. Well, can you tell us more then about Obama and what he's asking for?
Well, as you mentioned, the Obama administration is requesting that lawmakers authorize $500 million that would be used to train and arm Syrian rebels. The White House claims that only appropriate vetted elements of the moderate opposition will be trained by the U.S. military and equipped with American weapons and ammunition. U.S. officials insist that the weapons would serve to help empower the Syrian people and help them push back against the government as well as the militant extremist group ISIS, which has been fighting to topple the government of Bashar Assad since the civil war began more than 3 years ago.
Is this likely to stabilize the situation in Syria?
Well, look, as recent events have shown, American weapons may very well likely end up in the hands of its enemies. Just 2 weeks ago, ISIS unleashed an all-out assault on Iraq's second-largest city, Mosul, and causing a reported 30,000 Iraqi soldiers who were actually trained by the U.S. military to turn around and run. As a result, Sunni extremists have seized stockpiles of American weapons and ammunition, as well as U.S. Humvees. The bloodshed being unleashed in Iraq right now by ISIS has arguably been strengthened by the fact that militants are fighting with U.S. weapons. In Afghanistan, the Taliban is now armed with U.S.-made Stinger missiles, which, according to reports, were originally sent to Libya when the Obama administration was arming the opposition, then rising up against former leader Muammar Gaddafi. So for more than a decade, the U.S. has been drowning the Arab world in weapons, arming locals to help them overthrow governments. Not only has it created absolute chaos, many would argue, but it has also helped strengthen terrorist organizations because some of the U.S. weapons are ending up in their hands. Now, the devastating civil war in Syria is not disputed. Some 150,000 people have been killed in over 3 years. The international community does agree that something should be done, but the question is sending weapons to one side of the conflict, which includes terrorists, the best solution?
Marina, thank you very much for the update. Marina Portnaya there in Washington for RT International. Now, the director of the Anti-War Answer Coalition, Brian Becker, says the US is not willing to lose its influence in the resource-rich region.
I think Congress has been demanding a greater and greater military intervention by the Obama administration into Syria, as if they haven't done enough after spending the last 3 years funding and fueling a civil war using proxy forces like Turkey or Saudi Arabia or Qatar, or the CIA coordinating these same missions through Jordan. It shows the United States appears to have a schizophrenic foreign policy. They're saying they demand unity in Iraq behind the central government, which is fighting what they call Islamic extremists from ISIL or ISIS. And at the same time, they're funding these same armed groups in Syria to take down an independent, nationalist, and sovereign government in Syria. What the U.S. is doing and has been doing is funneling money, guns, and more occupation tools in a region that it considers to be vital because it's resource-rich. That's about it.